Hi guys, I am Nicole D. Miller. Welcome to Word of the Day Wednesdays, where I piggyback off of my latest blog. First and foremost, I will introduce you to my latest book and my first novel, When Love Wins. When Love Wins is an urban Christian fiction tale of two young female cousins with a rift in their relationship. When Natalie loses her mom, she moves in with her cousin Ashley and uncle for grief support. But instead of a warm welcome, she finds an icy cold one, and yet still feels spiritually led to love her cousin anyway. So the book is laced with topics of mental health issues, of parent absenteeism and neglect, grief recovery, depression, anxiety, but most importantly, friendship, sisterhood, and faith. You can learn more at whenlovewins.love. We are nearing the book launch, which is nuts because we kicked off the pre-sale in November. And so now the book launch, the virtual launch is on March 31st. And the physical launch is a combination of a celebration of my 40th birthday. And that's April 1st. My actual birthday is April 3rd. So feel free to DM me, message me then. But we will be doing the book launch April 1st at Sam Silk, 21300 Libby, I believe. And you can pick up your copy there if you pre-ordered, or you can just pick up your copy there if you didn't pre-order. And I'll be signing books, and it'll be a good time. So my latest blog is Pain Management. And this blog, I discuss some physical health challenges that I'm having in this season. And you guys, I have overall been a pretty healthy human being. You know, it's just one of the gifts of my life where I have rarely suffered like physical ailments. I barely get sick. I got sick frequently during the pandemic, and then one of my best friends started having me take vitamins, and I promise you those vitamins did the trick, because I have, like, knock on wood, not gotten sick since. But then I got that ankle injury that you guys all know about if you read my blog or follow my social media, like in the fall of 2021. And you guys know I'm really active, so that kind of put a dent on my social life. But then I was still doing the most, you know, because I didn't want to sit down, made it worse. So I finally got over that hurdle, only to find that I had severe back pain. And it wasn't severe at first, and it was honestly something I dealt with for years. But I did get looked at in my 20s. So this is like, you know, you just start aging. This is what I talk about in the blog. In my 20s, I had gotten it looked at, and I was told that I needed adjustments, okay? Did not get the adjustments, thought I could just, you know, keep it moving, paying for that decision. And so over the last 6 months, this is what I talk about in the blog, the pain has escalated from lower back to upper back to shoulders, neck, all the stuff. And I'm like, what is going on? And I've seen doctors, and I've gotten x-rays, and I've gotten MRIs, and I've gotten blood tests, and I've done all the things, and nothing. However, recently I learned that my spine was misaligned. And so even though it was kind of like, dang, that's jacked up, but it was good to know that something was wrong. Like, I'm not crazy. Like, I know this pain is increasing, what's happening. So long story short, I just talk about coping with chronic pain, which I know many people are dealing with that. And I've had conversations with my elders recently where I feel like, oh, Lord, this is like a thing as you get older. And for me, it is probably more of like a birth defect or something. I'm not really sure. And I think my injury enhanced it or sped it up. But just opening my eyes to this whole world of like chronic pain. And I've had other things happen. I had this horrible like tooth experience that lasted and lasted, you know. So my eyes were kind of open then, you know. So long story short, I just open up about that because I think often, especially with social media, we can kind of put on this facade that everything's okay. Or if you're like me, you don't necessarily wear what you've been through or wear it on the outside. There's been other things that I went through, and I just know I have this gift where like externally I appear great. Like I'm not wearing it, you know? And so I think for me, my blog was always an opportunity to just kind of let people in and be vulnerable and intimate, because I just think there's power in your story. I think there's fellowship and unity when you open up about what you're dealing with. And I think you can also learn how to overcome what you're dealing with by hearing someone else's story. You can learn to be encouraged, and you can help encourage someone else. So you guys know I'm all about the storytelling and encouraging others. My first two books are about overcoming heartbreak and healing from heartbreak. It was very uncomfortable for me to share my very first book because it was my personal story, but what pushed me forward into doing that was knowing that there were people out there that needed to hear my story. And so I'm always an advocate for you telling your story to help someone else. And I love hearing stories, whether that's in the form of watching documentaries. I was like watching the Little Baby's documentary last night and just learning some good things about his life, whether that's reading an actual autobiography, and whether that's watching, YouTube and people sharing, or Instagram or whatever live. Long story short, I'm an advocate of storytelling, hence I write stories. And so that's kind of all the things in regards to the blog. If you can relate, or if you know someone who can relate and maybe they need some encouragement, definitely shoot them that blog post. So it's called Pain Management, and it's found at NicoleDMiller.com. So it's March 1st. It's first of the month. I should have been playing bone, but then they would have taken this live down. But it's the first of the month. We're nearing spring. It feels like spring here today in Cleveland, Ohio, you guys. It's like 60 degrees. So I went for a walk in the park. It was all the things, and walking really helps my back. So that was a win-win for me. So I got over the hump of February. I had 3 events in February. The newsletter is about to drop for March, which gives you guys a summary of all of my monthly events. So if you're not on my email list, get on my email list. Go to NicoleDMiller.com, click on the pop-up, and enter in your information for the newsletter so you can be in the know of everything that I'm doing and will do and have done. And the biggest thing is the book launch. I don't think I have scheduled events this month because I have so many strategic things that I'm planning, not just with my launch, but for the publishing house's launch. I've been diligently working with my IT consultant with the publishing house's website. So that's going to be happening. So be on the lookout, I would say, in the next couple of weeks. So by mid-March. And then, of course, working on social media for the publishing house, taking on new clients, as well as getting ready for my book launch, which has a lot of moving parts to it. So it'll be nice when this baby is available for all. But you can order now at whenlovewins.love and get your pre-order today and come to my party and I will sign your book for you. All right, guys, I'm going to let you go. Thank you for jumping in for Word of the Day Wednesdays, and stay tuned next week. I will see you then.